Hi guys, good morning. Usually, what happens is when we talk about resolutions, right, or when we talk about New Year, these two terms go hand in hand. There is a myth that resolutions are supposed to happen only on the New Year's Day. If you miss the New Year's Day, then you cannot go ahead and reset the resolution. I use the word myth so you can clearly understand that it is just a myth. It can happen anytime. When it is a new year, you always have an opportunity to become the new you. Today's agenda is all about that. Cheers to a new year and another chance for us to get it right. That's what Oprah Winfrey said that. So, what you are supposed to do right now is you need to understand what are you going to do this particular new year. It has to be better than last year. I'm sure you must have had resolutions last year, which is fine. You had dreamt something big. You have also had short-term goals and long-term goals. But during the process, you must have missed the mark, or you must have definitely missed achieving that particular goal. So today, what we are going to do is, in this particular session, we are going to learn how to set our goal and at the same time how to stay on track with that particular goal, and also how do you need to organize them in order to achieve that particular goal. So let's not waste any more time. Let's deep dive into how to plan your year ahead. Again, a few things that are important. Ensure that you have a pen and a paper with you if you are someone who likes to write. If you are someone who is a tech savvy, use the computer notepad. All right. And if you are someone who is a visualizer, it is always better to ensure that you visualize it, but make a note of it so that you can connect with your visualization. Okay, so these are the prerequisites. Having said that, the most important thing here is concentration, because this particular webinar is going to help you not in terms of setting the goals, but in terms of also in terms of staying on track and at the same time organizing them better. Tell me, last year when you had set the goals for yourself, what would have happened? I would tell you what would have happened. Usually, when we set goals, right, we follow a myth, right, as I told you earlier. Only on New Year, and once you cross that particular New Year, you have not set a goal for yourself. It's okay, these things happen. That was last year. Let's not worry about it. Now you may ask me a question, Kamal, how do you, say that it's a myth, or how do you prove that resolutions when we set resolutions, how do you know that we don't commit to our resolutions and we accomplish our goals? Well, I'll take a simple example of fitness. In our personal goals, majority of us would have written about going to gym or taking gym seriously. Now, I want anybody or whoever has the doubt to do this. Go to a nearby gym, right? Go there. When you go to that particular nearby gym, what you're supposed to do is you need to go and talk to the master, or you call him, um, the owners of that particular gym, right? When you go and talk to them, what happens is they would tell you that during the last week of December and the first 3 weeks of Jan, all the gyms are crowded. So whoever had set the fitness goal, they would have definitely gone to the gym, enrolled or taken membership and started going. Well, that's fantastic, but it is not actually proving what I said. Well, hold on, I only told you the half of the story. The second half is ask them what happens in a month or two. He would say by March it would have been only half of what it was during December and January. Well, I'm getting better here. Ask him what happens by May. Ideally, whoever was consistent and whoever wanted to focus on their fitness, only they would remain. Rest of the people, whoever has enrolled, the fire would have gone and they would have been started, you know, munching on their couches. Okay, so the problem here was not just about setting goals. The problem here was being consistent, staying on track, and at the same time organizing what needs to be done. Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at the first method, right? So, did we cover this particular one? Yes, we did. So, the first method is called goal setting method. What is this goal setting method, right? We need to understand it better. Now, this is the activity that you need to do. Ensure that you make a list of all the major goals that you want to accomplish this particular year. Write down everything, don't leave anything. So imagine, you just need to imagine what are the goals that I am going to accomplish. Now, towards the left, you can write personal goals, and towards the right, you can write professional goals, no problem. So, the professional goals you can write in terms of certifications or in terms of new skill, whatever it is. In personal, you can talk about communication, you can talk about fitness, you can talk about quality of time spending with your family and things like that. So I'm giving you exactly 1 minute to write all these goals. Go ahead. While I quickly put my phone in silent mode, and if you guys did not do that, do it. Okay. All right, I've given you more than a minute. Now, I'm sure you must have definitely written all the goals. Now, what is it that you need to do? So, always remember, don't be afraid of thinking or writing or setting a challenging goal. Do not be afraid, because only if you write a goal that is ambitious, you would be able to actually, challenge yourself in order to accomplish that. Keep it reasonable, something that you can achieve. All right, now I'll give you an example. For instance, let's say you're a professional and then you want to get into the AI mode of it. Currently, everything is AI. All of us know that. You want to get into the AI mode of it. Now, you want to become, let's say you have written like this, I want to be an AI certified engineer within a year. That may be, a bit of stretch, because you know for a fact in order to become AI certified engineer, it takes 2 to 3 years. It's not possible for you to get AI certified within a year. When you set a goal or when you write a goal like this is what happens. You would definitely miss the trick within 2 3 months. So don't write a goal like that. Instead, you can write a goal. I want to learn AI concepts within 6 months. Look at that. When you write something like this, I'm sure you would be able to achieve it, because you will start learning and you will start gaining confidence. Next one. Let's say you are someone who would like to fiddle with your phone. You would like to fiddle with your phone. You have a phone, and every time you are like clicking pictures and things like that. Okay. Or let's take a realistic example. Um, Reels. It could be Facebook or Instagram. You are someone who would love to uh, do a lot of reels. Now the concentration would be about how many views and likes are you going to get this year. So have it as a challenge. So that way what's going to happen is you are setting a fun goal. So while you learn the concepts, whenever you're bored or whenever you're consistently working on your professional goal, you need some time off. So that particular time you can actually use for the fun goal that you had set, because after making 4 or 5 reels, you know for a fact that you need to get back to work. All right, okay. So you had set the goals, right? I hope everyone has done that. Now let's move on. The next step of it, segregate the goals on your list into related groups. This is the most important thing. So let's say you've written something like um, 6 7 goals. Now there are goals that are interlinked, that can be grouped. When you do that, you know for a fact that there is a flow in order to accomplish them. I'll give you an example. I understand where you're coming from, so I can understand that you guys are confused right now. How do I segregate? So, let's say you have written something like reducing weight, and then you have also written eating healthy food, okay, hygiene. And third one, you have written about walking. Fourth one, you have written about, let's say, jogging. Fifth one, you have written about something like, meditation, right? Now, all this can be grouped towards fitness, okay? Jogging in the morning, maybe on alternate days. Walking the alternate days, followed by something like, followed by the breakfast. You can definitely have healthy breakfast. Instead of eating 6 7 idlis, don't get shocked, that's normal. You need to definitely write somewhere around 3 idlis. Yeah, cut it to half. Or you can start looking at salads or sprouts. Okay, something like this, followed by lunch, not heavy but minimal, right? And then for dinner, if you want to reduce weight, ideally the phenomena is, people say you can cut rice and eat chapatis, right, without oil, though pulkas is what we call it, rotis is what we can call them as. So it all depends on grouping them into fitness. Likewise, certifications, new skill, all this can be a part of it. So when it comes to certifications, let's say AI is one, so you can write AI, new skill, that is AI, so you can group. So I'm going to give you time to quickly write about or group all your goals. So 1 minute from now, your time starts now. All right, then. I hope you had grouped all your um, goals. Now, keeping your goals organized. Why did we do that? As I told you earlier, keeping your goals organized can help you better manage them, right? I told you about this. Also, when you are giving a structure to the goal, it's easy for you to actually go ahead and work on it. Let's say you have written promotion in your personal goal. Now, how is it possible? Because you're adding structure, it is possible. How? If you want to get promoted, what do you think you need to do? You need to start and complete the work on time or before time. Then you can ask for additional responsibilities because you are completing your task before time or on time. You have time to work on other tasks. Be prompt, and at the same time what you can do is you can also ask them to be a part of, you can also ask them to make you a part of a bigger project. That way you can learn new skill, and at the same time you can also aim at getting promoted within a year. I know we are only talking about theory, but don't worry. The next task is where it is going to get into practicals. Let's move on. The next one in goal setting is about listing tasks for every goals. I know we are talking now. So, what did I tell you so far? Write a goal, and then I asked you to group them. Now, under each group, under whatever you have grouped, write tasks for everything. Everything. So, let's say fitness, you have written. So, under fitness, what have you written? We'll see. Write one goal on a blank paper now and write down the tasks you need to complete. Fitness, I told you just now. Now write down the tasks that you need to complete under fitness. Okay. Now, your goal is to get fit and lose some weight. So what are the tasks that you need to do now? Put them one after the other. It could be walking. So you need to walk. Again, be specific. Walk for, let's say, 10 minutes. The task is walk for 10 minutes daily or alternate days. Jog for 5 minutes, alternate days. Eat healthy food for breakfast. Likewise, write down. We discussed this. I know all of you knew this. So, if you're able to do that, fantastic. Under professional, if you had listed saying AI concepts, new skill, then under new skill, the task is learning AI concepts. Under learning AI concepts, the tasks are, like again, it goes on, right? Is getting to know which university, which vendor, which website, which online portal gives you the best concepts. Now make a list of it. Now the task is you're not going to search now, but you're going to write a task like look for that with the timeline. Okay. Complete the search by end of Jan. Next one is to enroll by February 1st week. Start learning by February last week. Fantastic. Or mid. Something like this. Okay, this is going to definitely help you guys. Now let's move on. Set deadlines for each of your tasks. See, I just told you, you have written a task. Now it is important for you to set the deadlines accurately. I just gave you a thought earlier. Now you need to work on the thought really better. Now write down. What can you write down? Very simple. AI concepts. We just spoke about it. Search for the universities by end of Jan. So by end of Jan, you should complete the search. Which university are you going to get enrolled to? Or which website are you going to learn the concepts from? Or which vendor are you going to connect? The online portal. You have many. Udemy is there. LinkedIn is there. Go ahead. Knock on their doors till they open. So you have done that. Fantastic. Now what is the next one that you're going to do? The next one you're going to set it. So you are going to write it. You're not going to do it now, but you're going to write it. After the research, what are you going to do? The next one is about enrollment. Go ahead with the enrollment. Take 2-3 days because I know it is not a small amount. It's going to be a very good amount. So take 2-3 days for you to get enrolled. Third one, the third task is after getting enrolled, what are you going to do? You're going to glance, you're going to look at what is it, how is it. There is an explanation, somebody would connect from that particular team and things like that. Get that done by mid of February. So ideally by 20th of February, you should start learning the concepts. It's not just about start date, it's about the end date that matters. All of you should understand this. Majority of the times, the mistake, the blunder we do is we only set the start date. If you only set the start date, you would not be able to accomplish. You need to set the end date of it. So what would be the end date is by May, you should be in a position to complete your, you should be in a position to complete your learning. If you're able to do that, then nothing like it. Clear? Let's move on. So deadline is very, very important, guys. Okay. Let's say we'll take the fitness goal example here. If you want to participate in a 10K run next year, oh my goodness, 10K. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. Go ahead and ask any athlete. You need to ask the amount of sweat that he had actually gone through, the amount of difficulty, right, for being consistently bettering themselves towards the run K, ask the athlete, right? They would be able to tell you what they had gone through in order to reach there. Consistency. The bed was so inviting, they did not want to get up, but they know for a fact that that goal is important for them. So they had kicked the bed and then they came out of it. Running for 2K, 1K is more than, it's difficult, right? But they were consistent in order to get to 3K, then 4K, beating themselves from the comfort zone. So that's something that is difficult, but what they have done is something that you need to understand. You could first set a date for a 30-minute straight runs for every week. Every day for a few weeks, you are going to run consistently for 30 minutes, come what may. Then go for a 2K run or a 1K run. Then go for a 5K run in 5-6 months. Go for a 8K run in 8 months. Go for a 10K run in 11 months, and then you would be ready to be a part of a marathon that is of 10K. And look at that. How did that happen? It's because you know for a fact that you had a deadline, that within few weeks, that means by February, you would definitely ease yourselves towards 1K. By March 2K, Feb 3K, I'm sorry, April 3K. Likewise, look at that, it's getting easy now. But consistency is important, right? So ensure that you have a start and an end date for all your activities, guys. Please do not forget, right? Otherwise, setting goals is not going to help you at all. Keep everything aside, go back to your nice bed, and then go back to sleep. Next year, wake up, go back to sleep. What is going to happen? Is it life? No. You need to challenge yourself, and this is an appropriate time. All right. I'm sure there would be something that comes in between for you to stop being consistent. Don't take it seriously. You have missed the trick, the track for a week. That's okay. Come back because you had already set a deadline. You know for a fact that you just have 4 or 5 days to complete that. So you need to restart, re-kick yourself in order to get there. That's okay. Adjust your calendar a little. Nothing is going to happen. Right. Oh my goodness. Let's move on to staying on track. Oh my. I really like this. We had set the goals and then we have grouped them. We have written the tasks and then we have also written the deadlines. Good. Now it's all about staying on track. So the question here is, why should we stay on track? I've spoken enough about it. If you have missed, re-listen to this audio or video, you would be able to understand, right? Concentration, guys. Concentration is the key. Clear? Let's take a 1 minute break and we will come back to staying on track. Write down just in case you want to write something. Okay, I hope you have written. If there is someone who wants to sip a coffee, go ahead, but stay on track. Listen to what is happening, right? Don't give up. You have just set a goal that you are going to listen or learn during this entire session. So the first goal was accomplished. Now staying on track is important. Let's move on. First and foremost, guys, you have to write down at least three things that you hope to accomplish. That means different goals. You want to write three tasks you have already written, but ensure that you complete three tasks a day in different goals. One is fitness, one is professional, one is finance, and the other one could be relationship, but three goals. Let's take an example of this word relationship. I know all of us like that. Let's say today you had set your goal, or you have written that I am going to spend an hour with my family before I go to bed. Fantastic, right? This should be the mantra for everyone, guys. I know we are not able to spend time with our family members because of this stupid invention that happened, which is a great invention, but something that we are not able to put aside, right? So this has become the priority than the family members. I know, I understand. So my point here is we are not born with this, right? We were not um, tuned to this till COVID. So, or before COVID. So we can definitely stay away from it. Now, what you need to promise yourself is during the night, especially 1 hour before the bed, I am not going to touch this particular thing. Instead, I'm going to spend time with my family. Fantastic. Register it here so that it reminds you exactly before you get to bed in an hour. Okay, that's what your mind is all about. God made thing. Right. Next, that's about family members. Next one, you can write, I'm going to learn two concepts of AI today. Clap yourself. Fantastic. Third one, you can also write something like, I am going to reduce or I'm going to budget myself today. Beautiful thought. Most of the time we don't even take care of our expenses. It goes just like that. It's because we are not keeping a track of it. Today tell yourself no, only if it's an emergency I am going to pay, or I'm going to use my card, my UPI, my transactions only if there is a dire need. Come on, man, you can do that. Which are three good things. These are three different things, but still okay. You can also write, if you have time, and if you know for a fact that you're going to accomplish, don't stop yourself. Write down something else as well on similar lines. You can also write in that 1 hour spending time with your family, what are you going to do? You can write tasks like, I'm going to play with my kids. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to cuddle with them and then sleep. Imagine, man, imagine. Okay, how beautiful it is. So likewise, you need to start writing three things. So let's look at each one. Okay. Every morning, if you're able to jot down at least three tasks, it could be within the same goal or it is three different goals. Should not be a problem. That means what is going to happen is your mind tells you that you had set a goal for yourself today, accomplish it. There's one beautiful thing that you need to definitely set, which I've started, is about reading a chapter from a book every day. Read just one chapter per day from a book. Let's say the book has 300 pages. Oh my goodness. After 6, 7 pages, or after 20 pages, after 30 pages, after 100 pages, I give up, Kamal. 300 is impossible, I know. But in order to accomplish, I told you, the goal is to read the book. Now, staying on track, see, as I told you, after 100, you're gone. It's because you did not have a pattern or structure. So that's why one chapter per day. Each chapter has 10 pages. Let's say 5 pages. Now the math is to you. How long will it take to complete the book, which is of 300 pages? So you're reading 5 pages per day. So if it is a book of 500 pages, it is going to be 100 days, because you're going to read 5 pages per day. 100 days is nothing but 3 months, 10 days. It's not 500 pages. That means you can complete reading a book within 2 months. Wow. What else you need? You don't need anything, right? I know you need to pay something for me, because I've given you a tip which is very, very useful. And you can start adding that particular thing in your journal that you have completed. Right. Let's say you are aiming to go for a trip which is pending for a long time. What are you going to do? You are going to tell yourself that today I am going to block the date. I'm going to contact the hotel. I'm going to research about the best hotel and things like that. Okay. Just a minute, guys. I need to charge my laptop. All right. I'm sorry about that, guys. So imagine you want to get certified. As I told you, you want to learn AI concepts. You can now set 3 goals: consider a topic, research on that particular topic, and connect with a learning platform. Good. You have made a note of 3 things. Let's move on. And I want you to write those 3 things, guys. Do not forget. Okay, why? I'll give you a minute's time. Go ahead and write it. Write 3 things, guys. Quickly. Have you written it? Okay, let's move on. The next one is about reviewing your goals once a week to see your progress. It's not just about writing, right? After writing, you need to check whether you have accomplished it or not. So you need to set time for yourselves. And the best time that you can use is reviewing them once in a week. Okay, you need to definitely do it on a regular basis so that you can readjust just in case you missed something. Okay, do it on a week basis. What worked, why it did not work, and come up with actionable steps just in case you missed. Or you can plan your week, the following week better. So every time you set a goal for yourself, also write when are you going to review it. Let's say deadline. I know, Kamal, you're talking about deadline. Write it about Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning, I'm going to sit and look at my notes, look at my notepad, whatever it is, to review my goals. And that's going to be fantastic. Now, the third one. So you had set a goal for yourselves and you are reviewing it. Fine. But do we have someone who can actually tell you whether you are on the right track or not? Yes, I know someone who has been consistent in achieving his goals. Good, nice, fantastic. identify such people, go and talk to them, tell them about the goals that you had set, tell them about the tasks that you wanted to achieve, tell them about the three things that you have listed, so that they would be in a position to check with you whether you are completing or not. When you know somebody asks you, hey, what about the goal that you told me that you're going to accomplish? Did you? What you would do immediately, if you have not completed, that is going to be like a awakening for you. You would go back and say, oh my God, I told him that I'm going to accomplish and I did not. Now, at any cost, I need to complete and tell him that I was able to complete. Look at that. So, if you have a mentor, if you have a partner, if you have someone who is close to you, professionally and personally, or professionally or personally, you can go ahead and tell them and give them the control to ask you or check with you about your completion, right? So if you look at the studies clearly suggested that if you text your friend, or let's say you called the person and told about the progress of your goal, the success rate of accomplishing is thrice, triple the than the ordinary ones where you don't have a mentor or a partner who you share your goals with. So go ahead, look for someone who is able to do it consistently. Let's move on. The next one. Well, visualization is a great technique. I know I need to come up with something on lines of visualization next time. I know, stay tuned. We will definitely look into visualization. But what is more important here? Picturize yourself accomplishing that particular goal. Fitness, you want to shrink yourself, or you want to build muscles, you want to learn AI concepts, anything. Just picturize yourself after, let's say, reading or before reading. Picturize yourself that you have actually completed reading this book. What an accomplishment. So your mind triggers you to continue doing that activity because it has seen the fruit. You need to pour water, pour water, pour water, and at one point in time you see an apple and you know for a fact that that's why you are pouring the water, right? So what happens now? The apple, or the picturization of apple, would actually make you pour water on a consistent basis, right? This is something important. The psychologists call this as encoding prospective memories. So you're encoding prospective memories. That's what psychologists called. So when it comes to all the tasks, imagine the task completion percentage, 100%, right? Next one. Setbacks are common. I'm sure most of you would have slept by now. Oh, I'm sorry, too much theory. I know, I know. Setbacks are common, guys. But what is remember what is important? Consistency, right? That's okay. Move on, progress. Okay, you did not pay attention to a couple of things, no problem. Now start paying attention from now on. Start paying attention from now on. Ensure that you have, ensure that you are going to concentrate from now on. That is going to help you. And this is something that you need to do irrespective of setbacks. Okay. Now, failures are common things, guys. Don't worry about it at all. When you're accomplishing a task, there is always a time where your mind says, enough, let's go ahead, let's enjoy now. It's been 2 days that you have not watched a movie. It's been 5 days that you have not even stepped out and then, had some time for yourself. All these happens. Go ahead, come back. Go ahead, come back, just in case. Okay. So, um, let's say when you're on a strict diet, you know for a fact that you're going to avoid junk. and all of a sudden you saw double cheeseburger, and you know for a fact that you are not going to say no to it, right? It's okay, have it, but ensure that, because it's a setback for you, what you're going to do right now is you're going to understand, all right, I had a double cheeseburger. It's staying somewhere. So what you need to do, that's okay. You need to increase the exercise bit. You need to draw yourself into extra hours, minutes of doing your regular exercise. Okay? So if you look at successful people, what do you think? They don't have setbacks? They have setbacks. All the successful people have setbacks, but they know how to advance, come out of the setbacks, and then continue from where they left. So that's something that we need to learn, guys. You need to understand that. You need to understand, all of you, all of us. Next, let's move on. Oh, yeah. After accomplishing a goal, time for you to celebrate, because that celebration actually, kicks the confidence for the next task to accomplish. That celebration does not mean that you go on a vacation for a month. Imagine you had set your goal. You have just accomplished a task, not the goal. So ensure that you complete all your tasks, complete, and then you ensure that you reach your goal, and then you can think of a vacation. But once you complete every task, you can definitely take a break. Let's say you have continuously learnt for, or did not watch a series or a movie, let's say for 2 3 days, because you wanted to complete a task, and then you can definitely do that after watching it, after completing it. I'll give you an example. Reading a book, as I told you, it will take a lot of time. So 100 pages is what you have set your target as within a week. So 5 pages per day will definitely take 20 days for you to reach 100 pages. After 20 days, watch a movie. But 21st day, don't forget, you have to read 5 more pages. That should be the thought. But once you have accomplished reading that particular book, amazing, you have done a fantastic thing. And what you would like to do whatever you want to do. So if you want to put it on the social media, go ahead and put it on the social media. Or if you want to celebrate that moment by talking to your friend, calling, and then throwing a party, whatever you want, you can. But do not forget, the next book is still waiting in your rack. Good. Okay. The next one is the last one in staying on track is adjusting your goals or tweaking them during your year is also okay. You know what setbacks you have, and you know what you're supposed to do in order to accomplish the goal, and you know for a fact that you need to skim through a few, and then you need to alter adjust a few. Go ahead and do that. Nobody is saying no to it, because what is really important is you need to go ahead and accomplish them. You need not feel guilty, guys, that you could not accomplish the goal. Maybe that wasn't the right time, or you had prioritized something else, and that could be the reason. But be flexible. Try to look at that's why I said review your goals. Why do you think you did not complete? It's because you did not review your goals. You did not know where you have reached in terms of accomplishing it. When you know for a fact that you have not reached where you're supposed to, and you did not review, that's when you leave the goal. But imagine if you have reviewed, what is going to happen? You know you will reprioritize, you will reschedule, and you would have definitely accomplished it. Okay? So all of you, I'm sure, would have definitely made a note of the things that will help you stay on track. Now the last segment of it, the most important segment, is how organized would you be? Take a minute and then we shall start off with the last segment. All right, next one is about organizational tips. Right, so it's very important for you to choose a traditional planner to manage your tasks and schedule. What does it mean? You need to definitely organize yourself, whatever you have written. If it's on a paper, the paper went missing, gone. If it's on a laptop, the laptop crashed, gone. So what happens right now is your thought process changes, so you would not be able to accomplish the goals because you have to re-spend time, and this time you might miss something that is important and crucial for you. Why do you want to get into that rut? Nobody wants to, right? So what do you think you need to do now? Well, a simple logic is ensure that you have organized what you want to um, accomplish in a better way. That means there should be, I mean, wherever you write your tasks, all of it should be in an organized planner. A single planner where you can write multiple things. What does it mean, Kamal? I know your thought, so let me put that across. You can use your planners for your weekly and monthly schedules. Now, which one are they? There is a concept called time blocking, which will help you organize your schedule. What does it mean? It's an it's a strategy that can help you stay more organized and focused on completing tasks. Don't do everything at a stretch. Reading the book 50 pages at a stretch will definitely stop you from reading the rest of the book. That's a mistake. Don't get into that. Instead, what are you supposed to do is set a time, like, let's say reading a book is like half an hour for you. I mean, 50 pages is half an hour. Now, you know for a fact that after half an hour you would get bored and you would never pick that book. So do not do that mistake. 10 minutes is what you need to keep. Pick one interesting chapter or whatever you open, just start from there. Ensure that you make a note of it or um, put something like a planner where, okay, I've read this. Now the rest is still pending. So I'm going to come back and read it. Now make a note of it somewhere. As I told you, not on a piece of paper, which can be, which would have been, or, while our family members sweeping, they would not know what we have written. They might find it not useful, so they would definitely use it for some other purpose. So in order to avoid all that, ensure that you have a planner. Do not work at a stretch. It is always better to work in chunks of time. 2 to 3 hours, good enough. 30 minutes is what you need to set time per task. Okay. Let's say you want to get uh, better views on social media. Then what you need to do? Set 30 minutes every day for choosing a topic and then for the write-up. And then set 5 minutes for reviewing, upload it. 45 minutes, within 45 minutes every day you have to upload one content. Oh my God, I'm giving you a lot of tips to you guys. I hope one of you are utilizing it or all of you are utilizing it. Okay, now what are we going to do? Oh, budgeting is very, very important. All of us know. AI, just in case you want to get into AI, you know you have to have a lot of money. So where do I get it from? Funds? Nobody gives. So free courses, AI not possible. Maybe the initial course. So what are you supposed to do? You need to start budgeting. Either take a loan or check with your friend, check with your family members. Ensure that you have that money set for yourselves. There is a catch here, guys. Generally, what happens when you want to when you had set aside some amount for your courses. I told you that once you accomplish your task or once you have reached a goal, go ahead and celebrate. So please understand, when you are celebrating, don't take it from this particular money that you had set aside for the particular course. So you have read a book, now you want to go to that place which is mentioned in the book. You had set, let's say, 50K for this particular course. Now don't utilize that 50K in order to reach that particular place that was mentioned in the book. Don't do that. Instead, what you can do is put it on a social media, asking people to share pictures about that particular place, more than enough. Or write to the author, that's more than enough. Maybe the author, if excited, is rich, would definitely give you free tickets to reach that particular place. Wow. Oh, one more tip. Okay. All right. So please ensure that you budget yourself better, which all of us should do, right? All right. So now I told you something interesting earlier. You've written on a paper, you lost a paper, the paper was used for something, the laptop crashed. So what do you think you can do? So that's where you need to be clever. OneDrive is one of the options. Or you can use your Gmail. Ensure that you have enough space in your Gmail, and then start uploading everything that you have written there. Or create a folder there and start writing, uploading whatever it is there. Keep a word pad. So write everything there. Don't write it on a piece of paper unless you are very sure it's your journal. People don't touch that or people keep it safe, right? Usually what happens, we tend to lose the book because we keep writing every day, everywhere. So always have a fixed place for your journal. Let's say you come home and you know where your journal is. People know for a fact that that is yours. They don't touch it. Wow, what else you need? Okay. So ensure that you have all your learnings, all your experiences, everything written in a place which is kept aside and which is not touched by people, but you are going to review them every now and then, right? Write everything, whatever you want to accomplish, ensure that you review them and you try to rewrite as well, just in case you need to adjust. Well, we have reached the end of the seminar or the session. I know all of you are excited. Kamal, you're done, so I'm going to go have my breakfast right now. No, it's not the breakfast time. You need to understand. It's the time for you to think and look at what you have written, regroup them, and ensure that you are ready for or with your goal. So let's quickly summarize what we have learned. Before that, go back and look at what you have written. We will start in a minute or two. The summary. So the next most important thing, is the summary. Okay, let's not waste any time. What was the first thing that we discussed? Goal setting. In goal setting, what did we discuss? We discussed about segregating the goals on your list in your related groups. Next one, make a list of tasks for each of the goals that you want to accomplish. Third one, set deadlines for each of your tasks. Make a note of it, guys, at least this would help. 30 seconds is what I can give you. So any questions that you would like to ask, you can definitely comment, or you can share your particular questions with me, guys. Okay. So the link would be available, so don't worry about it. Clear? Okay, let's move on. What's the next one? Staying on track. You had set the goals. Okay. Are we done? Yeah, Kamal, we're done. Hey, hold on. How? Staying on track. You need to know how to stay on track. Start every day by writing down 3 things. Yes, I remember you. I told you this, and I also gave you examples. Next, review your goals once in a week. Very, very important. Share your plans with a mentor, friend, colleague, whoever you call it as. Picturize yourself as if you are accomplishing that particular task. There would be setbacks, all of us know. We are not going to stop there. We are going to advance by making adjustments to our calendars. Celebrate your wins, that's okay. Once you accomplish a goal, celebrate it, but be little tight in terms of your budget. Don't blow all the budget or money that you had set for yourself. All right, write down. I'm going to give you 40 seconds to write. There are many points, right? So you definitely need at least 40 seconds. So write down. Whoever is very quick at writing, don't stop yourself. Go ahead and do it. I'm looking at the timer, guys. I'm setting the timer for each thing, and that's why I'm looking at my while every time. Okay. Next session is about this. All right. I hope you have written. Let's move on. The third one, organizational tips. What does it mean? It means that you are going to be organized. All of us know that, right? So, what are few techniques that I told you? I told you about time blocking. Do you remember? Instead of trying to do everything at once and stressing out yourselves, the best thing that you can do is look at each task in chunks, right? Look at each task in chunks so that you would be on track and at the same time you would not be stressed out. Consider 2 to 3 minutes, guys. That's more than enough, not more than that. 2 to 3 minutes, more than enough. Next one, an important thing is about budgeting, right? I told you it's important for you to budget because nothing comes for free. right? So you need to ensure that you have a budget to it. And when you budgetized it, then it's easy for you to accomplish. But do not over budget it or do not under budget it. Next one is about the folders, files, and the journal. I told you you need to figure out a place where you keep things. Having said that, I think I need to definitely do a session on organizing. Our home is a fantastic place for us to actually be better than what we are today. We need to have a place for our important things. Tell me how many of you, don't smile or laugh after that. How many of you look for your bike or car keys exactly when you want to go out? All of us, right? But do you know there is a habit? That means there is a 21 days habit that you need to get into. So if you constantly do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit, and slowly your mind will start doing it every day. I've given you a lot of tips. This is one more. So ensure that you have a keyboard hanger somewhere. Or when I say keyboard hanger, I'm talking about a keys where you can keep all the keys. Now, every day without fail, as soon as you come home, the first thing is you are going to keep the keys there. Try it for 21 days. After which it becomes a habit for you and you start keeping it at the right place. Now, I know most of you would be thinking, you know what, 99% of time I do. But 1% is when I keep the keys in my pocket and I forget and I keep the pen somewhere or I keep the wallet or purse somewhere. I know once in a while it happens. That's why I said adjust it. That's okay. It's just a setback. It doesn't mean that you're not going to do the next day, right? That day you missed it. Don't worry about it. Consistency 99% is amazing. Go ahead and do it. Because there is a setback doesn't mean that you would not put it in the key drawer every time. No, you have missed it only once. So don't penalize yourself for the rest. Instead, what you can do is you can restart the activity of putting there. The mind would definitely be able to pick it. Right? Okay. So at home, there are many other things. First thing that you need to do when you come out of your bed is to set your bed back to how it was last night before you slept. That gives you a small accomplishment, right? And then write down what you want to do for today. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Look at the way we are setting. Look at where your journal is and keep it every day at the same place. Ensure that there is a pen on it. When you keep the pen on it and the journal is ready, you get a feel that you're going to write something beautiful today. Try this, guys, everyone. And also organize where you have to keep your socks. I know. Keep your dress. Okay. When you have to clean your bike, wash your shoes, all that. Ensure that you have time set for yourselves, guys. We are in a small world, only one life. So if we are able to set goals, it's easy for us to accomplish. Take one goal at a time. If you're not able to think of multiple goals at a time, that's okay. Start achieving them, right? No matter what setback it is, do not penalize yourselves from that, okay? So I want all of you to take 30 seconds to think of it, and then we shall call it a day. Thank you. So pragmatic is a pragmatic approach to pol- politics. So that's a pragmatic approach, dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical considerations. I like this. Probity. All right, guys, I hope you have enjoyed, learned something new in this particular session. Stay tuned to the next session. So try to tell me what have you accomplished by writing down in the comment section. Bye bye.